Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to a brand new week. Full week this time, which is exciting, isn't it? Gives you another chance to make a difference in the world. Yeah, it's great. It's great to be alive. Good to have the leadership that we do in this country. Oh,
amen.
Man, aren't they great?
Amen.
Aren't they great? Oh, by the way, once again, Keith has suffered some kind of bee sting, water weight gain. I don't know. There's some bloating going on. What exactly happened over the weekend, Keith?
Apparently, all the bees are not missing yet. There. You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. We welcome Jeffy as Keith's on vacation for a couple of weeks. So, the President of the United States. Brilliant, isn't he? He's brilliant.
Yes. I thought we just agreed on that.
We did. We did agree. Everybody agrees on that.
Country.
You can't not agree on that. It's impossible. And I understand that he was telling a story, even though he's been told not to, as happens all the time.
There's some great cuts. Yes, we have some number of great cuts from our great leader.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
see it.
Biden.
Suppose I'm going to do this. They told me not to. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to tell a story. I went over to see.
Pause it for a second.
I'm
going to do this. They told me not to, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's it.
It shows he's just gone. He's gone. They tell him not to do this for a reason. For a reason. And here he goes.
Suppose I'm going to do this. They told me not to. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to tell a story. I went over to see Pope Benedict.
Excuse me. I don't even know what Pope. I don't even know it was either a dead Pope or a living Pope. I don't know. Or a retired Pope or the current Pope. I don't know. But I went somewhere to see somebody, and they told me he was important. I didn't know who it was. I didn't care. I just want pudding. That's all I want. So... He's about to tell a story about.
I don't know if we have the story
or
not. Yeah, his story about how he asked the. I don't know if we haven't, continue to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Just no, I don't think we do. I think that was the end. Yeah, he went on to talk about how the Pope asked him for some kind of advice, and I'll say, I know you don't ask me for advice. You're the Pope. What do you? I told him something about be careful of the nuns or something. It was some stupid analogy that he told the Pope for his advice, and it was
be careful of the nuns.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was just terrible.
Yeah, he's the worst. He's the worst. So he also claimed that Roe v. Wade being overturned means that hospitals and doctors will hesitate to treat women who've had a miscarriage.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
here's that.
A patient comes into an emergency room in any state in the union. She's expressing and experiencing life-threatening miscarriage.
No.
But the doctor is going to be so concerned about being criminalized for treating her.
Oh, bull crap.
They delay treatment to call the hospital lawyer.
They're really digging deep for this.
The hospital would be penalized if the doctor provides the life-saving care. It's outrageous.
It's outrageous. It is.
I don't care what your position is. It's outrageous.
I don't care what your position is.
It's dangerous. That's why this executive order directs the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, to ensure all patients, including pregnant women and girls, experiencing pregnancy loss.
What about pregnant men?
Get emergency care they need under federal law.
What a
hater. Doctors have clear guidance on their own responsibilities and protections. No matter what the state, no matter what state they're in.
No matter what state they're in.
Whew. Unbelievable. Then, as if that's not enough. Okay, we're digging so deep here. We're going to try to claim that a woman who has a miscarriage and comes into a doctor is going to get the doctor in trouble because they're going to say he aborted it. That is not going to happen. They're trying to make up the most extreme cases they possibly can in order to sway the American people and get them on their side. Because right now, the American people, while they did seem to favor Roe v. Wade for some reason, I don't know why, but it's only early term abortions the American people are okay with. After about 15 weeks, they don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
So they support those who support a ban up to 15 weeks or after 15 weeks is 72% of the American people. 72%.
Yeah, because we've drawn the line now, over the years that, before 15 weeks, and I certainly am not there, but before 15 weeks, it's not really a baby.
Yeah.
Not really a baby.
Right.
That's a thing. It's a clump.
But of course it is. Of course it is a baby. It is a human being from the time of conception. As far as I'm concerned, they don't think it's a baby.
No.
Until after it's completely born.
And about 20.
And even then not. Yeah.
About 20.
Right. It's amazing. And now they're doing this. He also brought up the 10-year-old rape victim. If you haven't heard this story yet, he's about to tell it. It's heart-wrenching. It really is.
Some of the states don't allow for exceptions for rape or incest.
Pause it. I believe that's inaccurate right there. I think every state allows for the mother's life endangerment, and most of them for rape. I think there have been some exceptions where they won't accept.
They want everything gone.
Any exception, yeah. But
I don't know that that's true now, though.
We'll have to look into that. But I think every single state that has banned abortions has an exception for the mother's life. All right, let's see what else he had to say.
Some of the states don't allow for exceptions for rape or incest. This isn't some imagined horror. It's already happening.
Pause it again.
Just last week.
Yeah. In about this is literally the truth. I'm not making this number up. 0.001% of cases are rape or incest. That's pretty rare. That is incredibly rare. But amazingly, just at the right time, they found an example, a really extreme example.
Yes, they did.
And he's going to tell us about it.
Just last week, it was reported that a 10-year-old girl was a rape victim in Ohio. 10 years old.
Yeah, it was reported.
And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life. That's last part is my judgment. 10 years old. 10 years old.
Yeah, we got it. You're saying
rape,
10 years
6
old.
weeks pregnant. Already traumatized. Was forced to travel to another state.
Oh, no.
Imagine being that little girl.
Imagine.
I'm serious. Just imagine being that little girl. 10
He's not
years
joking.
old.
10. Are you saying 10 years old? I don't understand. What do you mean? Is it 10? Is she 10?
It's Ohio's majority view that should not be able to be dealt with? Or in any other state in the nation? A 10-year-old girl should be forced to give birth?
Say it again. How old is she?
Child?
Right. Exactly.
I can tell you what I don't.
Can you tell us that?
I can't think of anything as much more extreme.
As much more extreme. This guy sucks so badly. He doesn't even know what he's saying half the time, most of the time. Incredible. Okay, this 10-year-old girl, this 10-year-old rape victim, 10. She's 10, Jeffy. 10!
I didn't know that.
That's a 1 followed by a 0. 10. T-E-N. She's 10. And nobody knows where she came from, except Ohio. We know that.
Yes.
Got the abortion in Indiana from a renowned abortionist. But nobody can seem to find any record of this happening. Apparently nobody cares who raped her.
Yeah, there's no record of any
no record of any arrest.
No crime, nothing.
No crime at all. 10-year-old just is raped and then now needs to get the abortion. Huh. Where's the rapist? Why hasn't anybody spoken about that? What town is the girl from? I mean, obviously you're not going to mention her name. But that would be helpful right now because this didn't happen. I can almost guarantee you they made this up.
Yes. It was reported. So they have there was a doctor, I believe there's a doctor where this all started, one story.
Yeah, the doctor in Indiana. She's a big abortionist.
Right. And then all the online websites ran with it.
Yep.
And here we are.
With him repeating it over and over and over and over. And he starts this whole thing that it was reported.
Right.
Right. It was reported.
Yes, it was.
That doesn't mean it actually happened.
Yes, it was. Are you sure?
Yeah, there's no evidence of it.
Are you sure that?
Show me the evidence of this thing. I want to see it because this is too convenient. That all of a sudden, right in the middle of this big uproar, we find the most extreme example you can possibly find. A 10-year-old was not only raped, but got pregnant from it. At 10? T-E-N? 10 years old? 10. She's 10, Jeffy. I don't know if that's... Is that sinking in? She's not 11.
At first,
she's not 12. She's 10. 10 years old. And hasn't gone through puberty yet, most likely. Fascinating that she got pregnant all of a sudden.
It is.
Okay, well, you know, if it did happen, it is unconscionable, and we're all sick about it.
Absolutely.
And there should be exceptions. Especially, I mean, a 10-year-old, come on. Her life would quite possibly be in danger, you would think.
Yeah.
At 10, you can't give birth to a child. So show us the evidence. Tell us what town, if you're not going to give us the name, at least tell us where this happened and that you have somebody in custody for rape.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
And it would legitimize the babbling nonsense that just spilled out of his face. Because how irresponsible of him. There's no proof of this. How irresponsible. And several articles have been written about how dubious a claim this is. Most likely, to me, it did not happen.
Right.
I would bet my house on it. It didn't happen. All right, 888-900-3393. Almost forgot about the Pat Gray bingo sheet, which we have a brand new one.
All right.
And it starts in the upper left-hand corner with traffic and weather together every 5 minutes on the 4s or every 9 minutes on the 8s. You know, it varies. And then we have Jeffy.
Facts are facts.
Okay. We have this from Barack Obama.
In the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because you know, the Cold War has been over for 20 years.
Right. Again, Jeffy?
I don't necessarily miss him. Write your own jokes. Go ahead. You can write your own jokes.
And then we lost him.
Oh, no.
We lost him.
Oh, no.
Got a Jeffy life hack.
I'm here to help at all times.
We got the 30-minute thing.
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes. You sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30-minute.
Facts are facts. I don't know why.
Right. I will thank you not to mock. Jeffy saying...
I haven't grown a third tail.
Jeffy mentions...
Monkeys. Got to talk about monkeys. Monkeys are everywhere these days.
Right. And then we have one of my favorites of all time.
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
For Mel Roker. I'm a pass. Seems like that's a key thing. That may not be filled because he's not around for a couple of weeks. Stung by a bee. Did we already?
Yeah, we covered that.
I think
right?
we might have.
That was outside of the.
I think
that was outside of the tweets. That was outside of us talking about it.
So there's a free square for you right there. Noodle it out. This.
You look weird. Your nanny looks weird. You guys are both weird.
Mm-hmm. Then Jeffy mentions.
We're talking about eating bugs.
Right. Yeah. This weird thing from the donkey laughing at the dog. Isn't that yours, Chris? That's yours, right? Yeah. Oh, it's Rob's. Oh, okay.
Yeah, video.
Yeah, that's right. That's just really something. Really amazing. Then we have You Met You?
Met You?
Some business music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's right, mama. Jeffy saying,
I got it.
15 minutes of content is squeezed into just 2 hours. And Jeffy saying,
Blake, is that you?
Okay. Also, we have...
in Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
He's not joking about that either. He's really being racist. He's actually a flaming racist. And
forever.
Nobody notices it.
Forever flaming racist.
Yep. Interesting that happens on 7-Eleven Day. It is July 11th right now, 7-Eleven. So I think it's free Slurpees today, right?
Yeah.
At 7-Eleven.
Slurpee, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if it's free Slurpees. I mean, you're supposed to get just one Slurpee.
Yes, per person, but there's going to be multiple people, is my guess, Jeffy. Then Jeffy says,
don't.
And finally, get off me. Get off me. So there you have it. Should be a fun bingo card to go through this week. Meantime, let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, because when you're trying to sell your home in this environment, it's really difficult. You need an agent that's going to come in and take charge of the situation and let you know whether you need to paint the house, replace countertops or flooring or that kind of thing. These are the people to talk to. Do you need repairs? Are you going to get your money out of the repairs that you do, or should you sell the home as is? That's what you're looking for in a real estate agent. It's Glenn's company, and when you have the kind of agents who work with us, working for you, you can rest assured that you're going to be in the hands of a really capable team. These agents will see your selling process through from the day you interview them until the moment you sign on the dotted line. And the same goes for buying a home. Either way, Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, the approval rating of brain dead Biden has taken another little bit of a dip.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, what is it he has to do in order for you to love him?
It's got to be. Maybe they just aren't explaining things right.
That's exactly what it is, Jeffy. They just, I guess they're not selling their message well enough. But it's down to 29% now, his approval rating, in at least one poll. 29%. That is incredible.
I mean, they're saying in this poll, they said that he's underwater with voters in every age bracket, every educational level, both genders.
Oh my gosh!
And
wow,
every one of the groups showed approval rates under 40%, with the youngest voters, 18 to 34, among the most dissatisfied at 21%.
18 to 34s are at 21%? That's fascinating. How'd that happen?
Incredible.
Could that be because he's not radical enough? I don't know.
Maybe. And only 2 states, it says here, 2 states out of, I guess there's 50 states.
I guess.
Do Hawaii and Vermont, do Biden supporters outnumber his detractors? So he's still...
Even in Delaware, his home state, he's underwater. In Delaware. That's incredible. This is a civics poll, CIVIQS. They've been around for a while. I think they're, fairly respected. The survey said just 62% of Democrats approve. That's an incredible number.
It sure is.
I think for Republicans under Trump, it was 92% approved or something to that effect. I mean, this is really low. The survey's data tracks with a Rasmussen Reports survey released last week that showed just 65% of Democrats approving. Rasmussen's overall approval rating, though, was higher than this one. It was 37%. This one's 29%,
still
which
under 40,
and
35.
It's still catastrophic for him.
And this claims that he still has 56% of African Americans.
That's really bad. Only 56%. It's usually way into the 90s for blacks. That's incredible. 56? Wow. I feel like saying that as many times as Biden said 10-year-old. 56? You mean a 5 followed by a 6? 56%. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. But, they're really taking a long, hard look at what we've been saying all along, and that's Democrats don't care about you. They don't care about you.
Well,
And I think they've been stunned by the things he says that are absolutely racist. And they've heard some of those things.
It's been forever. And they've looked the other way for years.
Yeah.
For this guy. And they, we got him elected because we hated Trump.
Right.
And so, now you're faced with, this is what you got. This is what you did. I mean, they all came out this weekend and said, that they would be for him to run again. They're all saying that, oh, yes, I'd support him 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Would ya?
Do ya? There's no way they support him in 2024. There's no way. They're going to find a way to get him off of the ticket because they can't win with him.
I mean,
they can't.
The New York Times ran a big story this weekend talking about, just the headline of the story is at 79. Biden is testing the boundaries of age and the presidency.
Oh.
So, but this is all good. He's testing it because it's all
kidding me.
Good.
Oh, my. Okay.
They did talk about, they have, they changed his trip to the Middle East, which he's going to, I think, tomorrow. He leaves for the Middle East. It was originally supposed to be tacked on to his journey to Europe, and that would have made for according to this article, an arduous 10-day overseas trek.
Right.
And so they said, they didn't want to unnecessarily tax the 70s.
So they broke it up into two pieces with a rest in between.
Right.
Okay, good.
But he's still claiming that he's running for a second term.
I know he is. I know he is.
And they talk about in this article that Mr. Biden, and there's so many things in this article that I'm like the whole time, come on now. This in particular, White House, and more than a dozen current and former senior officials and advisors uniformly reported that Mr. Biden remained...
More than a dozen. Wow, that's more than 12 then. Ooh, you mean he has more than 12 acolytes? People who just follow him blindly? That's incredible. There's more than 12?
Well, current and former, yeah.
Oh, current and... Former, so it could be up to 13
it could
current and former acolytes
who have uniformly reported.
Uniformly.
That Mr. Biden.
Yeah, they can barely keep up with him, am I right?
Remained intellectually engaged.
Oh, he's engaged.
Asking smart questions at meetings. Grilling aides on points of dispute.
Yeah.
Calling them at late night.
Oh,
picking out that weak point on page 14 of a memo and rewriting speeches like his abortion remarks on Friday right up until the last minute.
What garbage. That is a flat-out lie. Are there really at least 13 people who are willing to lie for him?
His energy level, while impressive for a man of his age.
Sure.
Is not what it was.
Oh, boy.
I mean, and some aides quietly watch out for him. He often shuffles when he walks, and aides worry he'll trip on a wire.
Oh, no.
He stumbles over words during public events.
More than that, loses his train of thought, can't think of a word that's written right in front of him, and has to have that cue card to tell him exactly what to do when he enters a room.
Now, they insist that they make no special accommodations.
Oh, of course.
The way Reagan's team did.
Jeez.
Privately, they try to guard Mr. Biden's weekends in Delaware as much as possible. He's generally a 5 or a 5.5 day a week president, although he's called at any hour regardless of the day, as needed.
Sure.
He stays out of public view at night.
And
when
he's worn down and his drugs have worn off. That's when he stays out of view.
Yeah, I know. When Mr. Biden fell while dismounting a bicycle last month, White House officials ruefully noticed that it was among the top stories of the week. Never mind the president works out 5 mornings a week with a personal trainer.
Oh, sure he does. Sure he does. You got to believe
that many men his age hardly ride bikes anymore. Okay. All right.
Unreal.
And they make it better and better. And he was out riding his bike this weekend as well, and he had a great little one-on-one with the reporter as he stopped to, he wanted to stop and take some questions.
I look like a fool here in this interview, but
you look good.
But I put a helmet on because it was a tough interview.
was reminded last week at the corner where he fell that people were making
Joe
signs
fell here. I like
really
that.
Funny.
I like that a lot.
Really funny. I don't think he does. And I saw also some pieces of video that people heckling him as he was riding his bike this weekend in Delaware.
Oh, gee.
I know.
Did they really?
I know.
Did they heckle him? Oh, that's too bad.
I'm sure he stopped and was fully engaged with them.
Yes. Probably ran circles around them. He's so brilliant. He is sharp as a tack, this guy.
Incredible. They just keep pushing and pushing.
Yep. The lies just keep coming from him. They don't care. They just keep lying. I mean, ignore him falling up the stairs when he's going to Air Force One. Ignore everything we've ever seen and all of the terrible interviews and times when he's done press conferences that he can't find his train of thought.
Well, I mean, we saw him completely just read the teleprompter again on Friday.
Oh, yeah, we've got that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Here he is reading, repeat the line, and he keeps saying end of quote, which is what's written into the teleprompter, too.
Majority writes, and I quote, women, it's a quote now.
It's a quote now.
Majority.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Women are not without electoral or political power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote.
End of quote. Thank you.
Repeat the
line.
Women are not without electoral and or political or political power.
So even if you give him
repeat the line, what they're trying to say is that he said, "Let me repeat the line."
Yeah.
As if it wasn't written on the teleprompter. And that's absolute bullcrap. Right. Listen again. He did not say, "Let me repeat the line."
Majority writes, and I quote, women, it's a quote now.
That's a quote. Don't forget.
Women are not without electoral or political power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Repeat the line.
Women are not without electoral and or
okay, we got it.
Repeat the line. And then he screws it up.
Yeah, he did.
Then he screws it up to repeat the line.
Yes. Yes, he did. Because even when the numbers are printed right in front of him, he can't.
No way.
He can't give them properly. He cannot do numbers
ever.
Never.
Ever. There's
right.
I mean, the numbers.
Doesn't matter where he is, what he's talking about, what the number is. He can't do it.
Right.
So there's a cognitive dysfunction. Plus, he just screws up lines all the time. I mean, he could barely get through one line without messing it up. No, he's completely compromised, and they're still trying to tell us that he's sharp as a tack.
Yep.
Oh no, he's spry. He's youngish inside. He's in great mental health. We can't even keep up with him.
Right.
We have 28-year-olds who just can't keep up with this man.
Yes.
Really? Do you? You might want to check those 28-year-olds. If that's the case,
yeah,
you might want to have them looked at. Okay, because there's an issue there.
And he's up late at night looking over.
Oh, shut up. You know that's not true. He's asleep.
No way that's true.
After some warm milk, he's asleep at 5 in the afternoon. You know that for a fact.
Just isn't.
No, it's not true. It is not. He's calling us at all hours. Is he? Does he?
There's no way.
There's no way.
True.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry,
no possible way. 888-900-3393. Also, add Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's agonizing.
Yes, it is.
Every day it gets more agonizing.
And if we'll have some Kamala Harris clips that will even show
Kamala's
this
terrific
administration
as well.
is on top of it.
We're in good hands.
For you.
I think is what you get from all of this.
Yeah.
We're in really good hands with these people. More coming up.
That's true.
With traffic and weather together every 3 minutes on the twos all morning long, so you can get there on time. Also, another little note for you. Our Pluto channel has moved. We were on, 238. Now we're on 465. That's the important number. It's Pluto channel 465 now, right?
The important number is Blaze TV.
Yes, Blaze TV on Pluto. channel 465. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
We've also, I also understand we might have missed something on the 10-year-old rape victim story.
Yeah, I mean, he says something that he inadvertently says something, and I gave him a little bit of a break.
Why?
Well,
why would you give him a break? He never gives us one. I am completely against giving him breaks. The only break he needs is a break from the presidency, a permanent one. He needs to leave office and stay away from office.
He's so busy and so engaged.
Yeah,
that
the 28-year-olds on staff.
When he makes a little slip up like this, I think,
but most people can't even keep up with him. They can't keep up with him. He is that active and spry. Oh, my gosh, the guy is on top of his game.
So in his 10-year-old rape victim story, that's 10,
and he's talking about ending her pregnancy, but instead, he says presidency.
And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana, to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe.
Yes, he did seek to terminate the presidency. He did say it. All right, run that back again. Let's see that one more time. Okay.
And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana, to seek to terminate the presidency and make
the presidency and make.
See, now that I think
is that all it takes? A 10-year-old going to Indiana, and she can terminate the presidency.
If that's,
then I think it's the greatest thing ever in the history of the world that she had to go to Indiana to do that. That's great. And by the way, until we find out where this happened in Ohio, how big a deal was it that she had to go to Indiana? Was it just across the border?
Yeah.
Was it? Did she have to go from one end of the state to the other end of the other state? I mean, how inconvenient was this? We don't know any of those details.
No, we do not. Did she have to ride her own bicycle, her own tricycle all the way there?
Who took her? How did this happen? And again, what's become of the racist or the rapist?
Yeah.
The rapist it doesn't figure into this equation at all. Nobody's talking about it. Why? Because it probably didn't happen. That's why.
Yes.
So you're going to implicate somebody else in a rape that didn't occur?
But
you
again,
notice no one who's talked about this story has mentioned a rapist. Nobody has.
Well, that's because
they mentioned the rape, but not the rapist.
Because the rape was the only thing that was reported.
Huh.
But I will say that I tend to agree with you that if it only takes a 10-year-old from Ohio to
end
Indiana,
the presidency,
I say we move every 10-year-old from the state of Ohio to Indiana.
I'll start paying for 10-year-olds to move to Indiana. Okay, we'll start a GoFundMe page, or what's the other one that's not so political?
I don't know.
Whatever they are, we'll start a page of that because we'll hear about that. No, GoFundMe sucks because they. I know, I got it. We got it.
We just raise money. You know what you do? You just send it to me.
Yes.
Send it to me.
Yeah, then it's really in safe hands.
Fine.
Right?
Don't worry about it. I'll see that it happens.
I'm sure you would.
100%.
I'm sure you would.
I'll document it all.
Mm-hmm. So, President Brain Dead, now we've blamed the Putin price hike. We've blamed the Putin tax increase. Now he's blaming Republicans. Oh, we also blamed the oil companies.
Yep.
We blamed the gas station attendants. We blamed the clerks at the gas stations. We blamed everybody but him for the price hike at the gas pump.
Yeah.
Now he's blaming Republicans because he probably realized, wait, Putin's not up for election in November, but you know what? Republicans are. And now he's started this. He attempted to shift blame onto Republicans as a way to drive up support among voters for the November midterms. Republicans are doing nothing but obstructing our efforts to crack down on gas price gouging, lower food prices, lower health care costs, and hopefully soon lower your prescription drug costs. This is not right, and that's why this election is going to be so darn important. Oh, I agree with you on that. This election is darned important. The Republicans must win back the House and the Senate. Really, especially the Senate, because they're going to try to pack the court. And if they have a Democrat majority, they're going to pull it off. They just will. Now, they've consistently blamed Russian President Vladimir Putin for the rise in gas prices, warning 7 major oil companies in a recent letter they would face a new tax on energy if they don't boost domestic output. Something that he's been fighting them on every step of the way.
Every step of the way. And he won't guarantee anything to them. They've asked, okay, well, no problem. We'll boost it and we'll do what we can. How about you just say you'll leave us alone for 5 years?
Yeah.
So you just leave us alone. We'll just go and we'll drill and we'll find some oil.
We'll do what we do.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that the price comes down because we'll
nope.
He won't do it. He will not do it. Why? Because he doesn't really want them to increase production. He doesn't want them to. If he did, he'd be opening things up for them.
Yeah.
He'd be allowing new leases at least. At least allow them new leases. Nope. Not doing it.
And the heat is a little off him now, just a tad, because the prices have come down.
Yeah, a bit.
Actually, there were a number of places that were under $4 a gallon here in DFW.
Really?
This weekend.
Oh, I haven't seen them under $4.
Yeah.
The national average is $4.67. Oof, that's still way too high. And like $2 higher than it was on Inauguration Day.
Oh, yeah.
$4.67, and we're like, hoo, thank you for that relief. I only paid $99.25 instead of $120.
And that's the thing, right?
It was $21 less for a tank. That's a lot.
Yeah, I paid $3.95 a gallon.
You did?
On Saturday, and I was like, I felt bad for feeling good.
Yeah, because it's not good.
No, it is not.
Shouldn't have to pay $99. What it usually costs
better.
under normal circumstances is about $40 to fill up my tank. So we're still more than double. About 2.5 times where it should be. So I'm not going to cut him some slack on that.
No, and plus what's helping this is the strategic reserve release. And
is it?
Is
it helping? I mean, some of that reserve, 1 million barrels, went to China, to his
other places too. They went to
Hunter's
Europe
former company.
How about no?
Yeah, no.
How about no? How about no to anywhere else?
There's so much incredible garbage going on with this administration. One day we're going to find out just how bad it really was. It is. It won't be for a while because that stuff doesn't usually come out as it's happening. But one day we're going to find out just how bad this was.
Oh, between this and our, we're obviously domestically we're in a sad state of affairs. But we just found out, right, that we've spent all this money on the war in Ukraine.
Oh, 5 times. 5 times as much as we spent in Afghanistan in the first 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Combined.
I was looking for
the first 5 years combined. We've spent more.
Exceeds first 5-year war costs, yes.
In Ukraine. That is incredible. That's just incredible.
And we just announced another $400 million.
Yeah, we did. Right.
So that's good.
So that's good,
right?
And keep in mind that's on the heels of the $40 billion we agreed to, and the billions before that. And every week it's between like 400 or 500 million and several billion. So another 400 million this week. Every week we're committing to spend more.
Incredible.
In Ukraine.
So according to this story, all right, so
man.
The Pentagon on Friday confirmed the U.S. has provided $8 billion in security assistance since Russia's invasion in February.
Mm-hmm.
But they said Congress has already committed to spending $54 billion in traditional foreign aid and military assistance.
Wait, we've already spent at least that much and probably more. And now are they talking about another $54 billion?
The measures are the latest $40 billion package.
Wow.
Package in May. We're just...
don't worry about it.
That's exactly where we're at.
What do you want, Russia to win? Is that what you want? Are you a Putin fan? You love Putin. Why do you love him so much? Why don't you marry him if you love him so much?
That's right.
It's where we are.
Yes, it is.
All right. Let me tell you about Omega XL pain relief. We have a whole bunch of joints in our bodies, 360 of them from our neck down each vertebrae to our back and arms, hips, knees, feet. They're all over the place. And that's 360 joints that take a beating with daily activity and aging. That's why your joints hurt and oftentimes probably ruin your sleep. They did for me. I had this elbow pain that was really making things difficult. I couldn't even pick things up with my left arm. Finally, I broke down, started taking Omega XL, and after a week, it built up in my system to the point where I got some relief. And after 2 weeks, the pain was just gone. And it has not come back. It just stopped the inflammation, which is awesome. Omega XL can restore your SPMs, which are those are exactly what rejuvenate your joints and muscles. And as we get older, we don't produce enough of them. But again, Omega XL can restore those. So go to OmegaXL.com, get a second bottle free when you buy your first. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat. You buy one, you get one free. OmegaXL.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray returns.
That was the extended version you just heard there, yeah. The extended dance version, which is really good this time of day, I think. A lot of people want to get up and dance. So there you go. There you have it. We've got some Kamala stuff to share with you coming up in a few minutes because it's good stuff. She's brilliant. She's almost as brilliant as Joe Biden is. And between the two of them in that executive office, oh, man.
The brilliant candle burns bright.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Did we choose wisely or what last election? Huh? How proud you got to be as an American.
I am.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of which, is Lee Greenwood still performing? Is he still proud to be an American where at least he knows he's free? And so, yeah, there he is. In Huntington, West Virginia. At the very first Rally for America. 2002.
Well, speaking of proud to be American, I think we have the post from USA Today that talks about 38% of U.S. adults said they are extremely. Yeah, there it is. If you're watching on Blaze TV,
isn't that sad?
38% of U.S. adults say they are extremely proud to be an American. The lowest in the past 20 years.
Well, I can relate to that because I don't know that I could answer that positively right now.
Proud to be an American.
Are you proud to be? No, this guy's making me ashamed right now.
Look at that. In 2003, it was 70%.
Jeez.
And we've gone downhill since then.
Yeah, they have rocked this country to its very foundation. Again, that's why the November elections are so important.
That's a tough question.
It is. It is.
Because I'm proud.
Yes. But.
I'm proud.
Yeah. But. This guy makes it really difficult. I mean, he's embarrassing us on the world stage. And the thing what he did with Afghanistan, for instance.
Oh, my gosh.
What he's doing now with Ukraine, where we're in this endless war again. For what? Why are we doing this? Do we have to do this every single time somebody's attacked in some other nation, in some remote part of the world? All right, let's stick our fat face into that one, too, because that's fun. We love it. We love it. Let's either pay through the nose or even send troops. And eventually, do you have any doubt that that's where this is headed?
No, absolutely. I mean, with it, it won't be long. I mean, I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know that I can. I've thought about when it will happen, but we talked about it happening once they said it was okay that we're going to make Norway and
it was Sweden and Finland.
Sweden, yeah. Sweden and Finland.
Or Norway and Switzerland, whatever it was.
All you have to do is look at the map.
Those countries over there. Part of NATO.
Yeah.
So that, once they're part of NATO, there's going to be an incident.
Yeah.
And that will bring boots on the ground. It will be there.
And I don't even know that a NATO country needs to be involved. I think it might be Ukraine. They'll eventually tell us, look, Russia's going to take over Ukraine if we don't step in. We've got to have boots on the ground to help them here because they're starting to lose ground.
Yeah, they are.
And it's starting to be a one-sided thing like we thought from the beginning.
I mean, We've dumped so many weapons and money in that
and it's
country.
not enough. And that's why boots on the ground are going to be necessary. I could see him making that point.
Absolutely.
Man, I hope they don't, 100%. But I could see him making that point.
The mindset of this administration will do it.
Absolutely.
100% do it.
And by the way, the Army has announced that the over 60,000 National Guard and Army Reserve soldiers that remain unvaccinated against COVID-19 can't participate in their military duties, effectively cutting them off from some of their benefits. Now, this is a great time to mess with our troops because recruiting is at its lowest level of all time. Of all time. So, yeah, let's make it worse by insisting that they get vaccinated or, I'm sorry, you lose your benefits.
And they have not separated the troops yet, but that may be coming.
It might.
And they gave numbers on, the people who were getting religious exemptions and or medical exemptions.
And they've already separated some of them.
And it is like very low. I mean, I don't think that they're allowing for any of that anyway. I mean, they're just get vaccinated and be done with it. And, I'm torn there because when you're in the military,
was it a condition for you getting into the military? No, it wasn't.
It doesn't matter.
So now after the fact,
it does all the time.
It does matter.
And out of the military, your body isn't yours when you're in the military.
It does matter.
Your body belongs to the government.
My body,
when you're
my
in the
choice.
Military.
No, I'm sorry.
No, not in the military. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
But the Army has 652,000 fully vaccinated, 261,578 partially vaccinated, and that's not enough. Wow. Good luck hitting those recruiting goals. It should be real easy now.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The 360 variant tweets. It's amazing how many terrible things Biden has been able to accomplish despite his lack of cognitive ability. Almost like he's not running the show or something.
Speaking of the 360 variant, did you stop in and check on?
I have not checked in on it
this weekend.
No,
did we get any?
I did not. I was too afraid that I would just break down and weep openly as a man.
I don't know if we have the audio. I did stop in and take a look at it. Everything seemed to be it was still alive. It was hanging on for dear life, but he didn't get the video. He didn't get the audio. So
darn it!
But there was the heart. There was the heart monitor still going, so it was still beeping.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
still
alive.
Okay. Yeah, it is alive.
It's alive.
Still.
All right.
We haven't lost it yet.
Good. Dan the Man tweets, if the 10-year-old story was true, the left would completely disregard any of her privacy. It's probably true. They'd have her photo and name plastered everywhere and creating an abortion law named after her. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
The Steve 42 tweets, if Biden's approval keeps going down, is it going to roll back over to 99%? Well, yeah, that's how it works with global warming. Yeah. So it gets so hot that eventually it becomes cold. And I think that might happen with the approval ratings. Jimmy Dimples tweets, how long will it be before Biden's numbers aren't just underwater, but under the sea bedrock? I feel like that's going to be soon.
And what's it going to matter?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The press doesn't care. They'll keep providing cover for him. Nicole Archer tweets, when I say I'm proud to be an American, it has nothing to do with the people in government. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's hard, though. It's really hard.
When they're the ones representing us for, domestically and foreign.
And when you think about the fact that we, the people, put them there, I mean, I certainly didn't vote for the guy, but the vast 81 million, record number of Americans did.
Thank you.
I don't know how that happened, but it did. It did happen.
And they're darn proud of it now.
Yeah. How many of those people want their vote back? All of them, but like 3, maybe? All of them but 3. So 80,999,997 people want their vote back. So also, I love the fact that they continue to hassle people out in public or at their homes or at their place of business. Brett Kavanaugh just trying to have dinner, but he's an awful Supreme Court justice he's trying to keep babies alive, that bastard. And so he went to a dinner in Washington, D.C., and was forced to leave by the leftist protesters there. They discovered he was eating at Morton's Steakhouse, and so they disrupted the entire restaurant and harassed him. And the restaurant people were not pleased by that. So that's obviously going to bode terribly for Morton's Steakhouse. They can, rest assured, they're going to get more hassle.
Right.
But they have gleefully cheered on the targeted harassment of U.S. Supreme Court justices. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shared a tweet from Huffington Post senior editor Andy Campbell, slamming Politico for clutching pearls for writing up a 212-word account of the harassment of him. And she also wrote about Kavanaugh being hassled. Poor guy. He left his souffle because he decided half the country should risk death if they have an ectopic pregnancy within the wrong state lines. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like they're going to let the woman die if she has that kind of pregnancy. Shut up. It's all very unfair to him. The least they could do is let him eat cake. If this was her being hassled.
Oh, my gosh.
I suggest it should be. Peacefully, but hassle her just like Brett Kavanaugh gets hassled out in public. Why not? I'm so sick of this garbage. But if this were turned around on her, she'd be screaming bloody murder right now.
Oh, yeah. And she already really is. I mean, she talked about how they've had to have security the last few months. I'm trying to find that stupid tweet from her. And I was thinking that she was already saying that she had to have all this security.
Yeah, she was saying that.
And I was thinking, well, did you need that security when you took a break and went down to Florida with your boyfriend and took pictures of you guys on the beach? And
yeah, she seemed fine.
Dinner.
Yeah, nobody was doing a thing to her.
Kind of messing with you down there, were you? You were just drinking your little Mai Tais and yucking it up with each other, weren't you? So it was just... It might not be a bad thing.
I mean, she cried and whined. She cries on every interview when she talks about the fact that she wasn't even there on January 6th. She wasn't even there. Not in the Capitol building anyway. She's completely away in a separate building, completely safe and sound, and nothing happened. And she weeps about that all the time.
Yes, just gut check.
Stop. Ugh. She is agonizing. If these people were served up their medicine, oh, man, it would be the worst thing ever and the end of our democracy. That's what they'd be saying.
Oh, yes.
Over and over and over again.
No question.
Democracy is being challenged here. This is not the way a democracy works. Why is our democracy going downhill like this? That's what we'd hear over and over and over again. But it's fine to attack Brett Kavanaugh. It's perfectly fine. I mean, he's already had an assassin go after him. He's got protests every Wednesday and Saturday night outside his house.
Which we're supposed to be fine with.
Right.
It's a legal protest. Is it?
No, it's not.
I don't think it is.
Not when they were deliberating, it wasn't a legal protest. You are not supposed to be able to. There's federal law that states you can't intimidate justices that way or judges of any kind when they're deliberating. And that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't legal the whole time they were doing that. Now, I don't know if you can make that case now. It's just immoral right now. It's unbelievable that it continues.
Well, I mean, I would make the case that it is.
Yeah, I would too. It still applies.
He's a Supreme Court justice,
right?
Whatever. I mean, I realize that he has vacations and time off, but that's a 24/7 job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not. He doesn't stop thinking about his job.
True. Probably not. But that's not going to matter to any of the left. Doesn't matter at all. 888-900-3393. We have some genius from Kamala Harris.
Oh, yes. I don't know that you're going to be able to. There's one clip here that's that
they didn't codify Roe v. Wade.
It's almost
this is good stuff.
3-minute clip.
I've seen some of it.
I don't know.
Amazing.
That we'll make it all the way through.
Here she is. I don't know who the guy is that's interviewing her.
He's on CBS.
Okay,
it was a CBS morning show. What was his? I know his name. I'll have it for you, but go ahead.
Apparently, you don't know his name.
I'm not off the top of my head.
Yeah, you just said you just lied. You just lied.
No, I mean I know his name.
You said you know his name, but you don't. You don't.
Let me.
Then what's his name?
Let me rephrase. I wrote it down.
All right.
I wrote it down when I looked up the clip because I wanted to be sure that I remembered his stupid name.
And then
I
you didn't
remember it. No.
Okay. All right. Well, here she is.
I think all of us share a deep sense of outrage that the United States Supreme Court took a constitutional right that was recognized.
Pause it.
Took it.
I can't. Oh, man, that's difficult. No, they did not take a constitutional right that was recognized. You might have recognized it in the Constitution where it wasn't, but we didn't. Right. It's not there. It was never there, and it never will be there, would be my guess. I mean, they could put it in, but they'd have a tough road.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
So, no, they did not take away a constitutional right. As he said in the ruling, it's not a constitutional right because it's not in the Constitution. Huh. You mean it has to be in the Constitution
to be
a constitutional right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I wonder if Robert Costa from CBS News will ask her that.
My guess is no, Robert Costa will not. But here's the rest.
From the women of America. We are now looking at a case where the government can interfere in what is one of the most intimate and private decisions that someone can make.
What will this administration do?
But we don't care about the government insisting that you get a vaccination.
Nope. There's plenty of things the government insists on.
Oh, my gosh. It would take all day to go through the list.
Yes.
But certainly the vaccine is one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
You get the vaccine or you can't participate in society. I'm sorry. Wait, isn't that my decision and my body, my choice?
No,
it isn't. Okay.
What will this administration do to try in the coming months before the election to codify Roe, to try to, through Congress, put into law some of these priorities?
The president acted this morning, again, with an executive order, but we also need Congress to act, because that branch of government is where we actually codify, which means put into law.
Is that what that means? Thank you.
The rights that, again, we took for granted, but clearly have now been taken from the women of America. And that does have to happen, and we should not allow ourselves to minimize the significance of that, which is Congress needs to act.
Some senators have suggested that Justice Gorsuch, Justice Kavanaugh misled them during the confirmation hearings on Roe v. Wade. Some Democrats have even called for those justices to be impeached.
Oh, wow.
Do you believe they should be impeached?
I mean, listen, I start from the point of experience of having served in the Senate.
In terms of?
I never believed them.
You never believe them?
I didn't believe them.
She didn't believe
That's why I voted against.
That's why.
You don't have to abandon your faith, whatever that might be. To agree the government should not be making that decision for a woman. And so that's why I say, let women make those most intimate decisions.
About whether they kill somebody or not? That's a pretty
most intimate decisions that are about what I call heart and home, which includes contraception, which includes same-sex marriage. Let them make that and be free to make those decisions without government interference.
Oh, wow.
When you look back, did Democrats fail, past Democratic presidents, congressional leaders, to not codify Roe v. Wade over the past 5 decades?
Tell us what codify means again.
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we...
She does believe that we...
Should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled.
that we believe
certain issues are just settled.
That's what I believe.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living.
She does believe.
Sadly, in real unsettled times.
In terms of believing, that the rule has been codified. In terms of codifying the rule, I believe that it's been codified. Is what I believe. In terms of believing that, I believe it's been codified into law. That's what I believe. In terms of belief, when it comes to believing. So, it's the worst. These people are just the worst embarrassment ever.
Now, she continued on.
Oh, there's more?
Not
really?
We went on about the Second Amendment.
Okay.
And weapons of war.
Oh, weapons of war. Are they available? The weapons of war?
Yes, they are.
All right.
But they shouldn't
When you meet with first responders, when you meet with families of these victims, you cannot avoid the reality of what the impact of this gun violence is.
In terms of
on a community, on families, on people who love their community, who love their family member, and assault weapons. So let's just go right to that, assault weapons.
Let's go right to them.
Assault weapons were specifically and intentionally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly.
Pause it for a second. Whereas a handgun, let's say a 9mm, was designed mostly to display floral arrangements. Am I right? So like a 9mm handgun.
Right.
Floral arrangements. Yeah. So you put the arrangement in the, down the hole of the barrel, and it's lovely.
Beautiful.
If you can get the gun to stand up on its end like that.
They sell bases separately. That's it.
So stupid. Like it's designed to kill people. Well, it's designed to kill something, I guess. Yeah. So pretty much every weapon is designed that way. So hopefully you'll never have to do it in your life, but you might have to defend yourself. You might have to defend yourself against an oppressive government. You might have to defend yourself against an occupying force. Who knows what you'll ever have to do with the gun? But that's why we have the ability to own them.
Yes.
And the right to own them. Because the founding fathers were very concerned about that. I watched a movie over the weekend. So ridiculous. It's have you ever seen Red Dawn? The updated one, not the one from 1984, where the Soviets invade. You can kind of understand. All right, the Soviets invaded. It was North Korea in the updated 2012 version.
No, I don't know that I've seen that.
Wait, North Korea? Yeah, all of a sudden you see these. I mean, the sky is just filled with paratroopers coming down from the planes. The planes fill the sky, and the paratroopers from North Korea. Yeah, and they have all their They have their tanks. I guess they airdrop tanks and heavy equipment and heavy artillery.
Nice.
And the only ones around that could defend the country were a group of teenagers. And thank goodness, we had them, because there was no military around, no army, Navy, Marines, Special Forces, nobody but these teenagers were there to fight the North Koreans.
Wow. Just sent them into Ukraine.
And, it is really logical that North Korea could occupy the United States. Do you know what it would take for an occupying force? How many troops it would take to pacify the United States of America with 400 million guns among us? What kind of force would you need? You would need tens or hundreds of millions of troops. There's no way North Korea could occupy even the Pacific
Northwest.
Only
a couple of countries that could possibly do it.
I mean, China's really the only one that could actually do it. Russia doesn't even have the force, sheer numbers available.
Does.
India, yes, India. If India invades, all right, you got me. You got me on that one. I didn't see that coming. India, I just
they have
didn't.
1 billion people.
They
could do it,
but I don't foresee them invading the United States of America. I mean, maybe they will sometime, but I
guess most people would say China first.
Yes,
over
probably.
India.
Yeah, they
but
probably
it could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. The Indians could invade. They could, and it would be bad. They might have the hundreds of millions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, to hold us down. Yeah. All right.
I mean, they're battling with China back and forth for the, for the population.
Yeah, they are.
The lead in population.
I think it's 1.4 billion to 1.3 billion
they're
now.
neck and neck.
Yeah, it's very close. All right. Let me tell you about Roe v. Wade. It's been overturned. We're very happy about that. Roe versus Wade was responsible for the slaughter of over 63 million babies. And now the decision to abort a child will be left in the hands of the states. But sadly, a lot of states are going to continue to abort babies. Over the past 16 years, Preborn has positioned their clinics in the top abortion cities where 50% of abortions take place. Preborn's work of saving babies will continue at an even greater level as they fight Planned Parenthood and now defend their centers from the radical hate groups who want nothing more than to shut them down. Preborn's response is entirely dependent upon you, the pro-life community. Your help is needed right now more than ever. So please consider a gift of any size, whatever you can afford. If that's $10, then it's $10 that they would be very grateful for. $50, $100, $1,000, whatever you can afford. All gifts are tax deductible and will go towards saving babies' lives and helping keep preborn centers safe so they can continue their work, their life-saving work. To donate, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or you can go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here. Rowdy introvert tweets. Do you even have to preface a Kamala soundbite with "we have some genius from"? That typically goes without saying. True. Carol Remarks tweets, how do you think the left would respond if the right hunted down Sotomayor and hounded her at home and at restaurants? They go bat crap crazy over it.
Yes.
Oops, all berries tweets, anytime Kamala speaks, it makes Miss Teen South Carolina sound like a member of Mensa. Sure does. She personally believes.
I personally are unable to do so.
Right,
because some people out there in our nation don't have maps. And I believe that our education, such as South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as. I believe that they should. Our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S.
Help the U.S.
Should help South Africa.
It
should help the Iraq and the Asian countries. So we will be able to build up our future.
For our children.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. What are you going to say to that?
Oh, I mean,
brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
They were
South Carolina.
Everyone in the entire audience and on stage was praying to hear that ding.
I know.
So 10-second wrap up. Let's go.
Oh, it was so awkward. From Peekapool, the snarky jackhole Pokemon, abortion is an intimate and private decision. Also celebrate your abortion.
Yeah, no kidding.
That
is the truth.
Really true.
We never did really, I don't know, got a couple minutes left, but we never did finish Kamala on her gun talk.
Oh, that's right.
Do
we have time here to finish?
I don't know. I don't know that we need to make it all the way through anyway to begin with.
No, let's let her finish because she's so profound.
Okay.
And yeah, that goes without saying, but here's the rest.
It is a weapon of war.
Weapon of war.
If you've ever looked at, if I may be so blunt,
you may. Go ahead.
An autopsy photograph.
Oh, how many autopsies?
To see what it does to the human body.
Tears it in half, in half.
The fact that we can't get...
You get a bullet in your stomach,
Congress
it tears your body right in half.
To renew.
That's what happens.
Like
pause it for a second.
Out of our hat.
You shoot somebody in the head, it tears their head off. It completely removes their head.
Shoots out of you. From the
your lungs.
Yeah, your lungs. Yeah.
Your lungs shoot out of you. Was that from an AR-15?
You look at it,
or was that a handgun?
I don't remember.
Because I don't have my main machine. I got it in that, but I don't have it in this one. But yeah,
shoots right out of
your lungs blow right out of your body.
Autopsy photo's not going to have any lungs. It's going to look terrible.
And then there was something about it removes your head or blows your head off or something. I don't know. Jeez. cut your body in half, takes off a leg.
I don't know.
Just don't
wearing Kevlar vests. I don't know.
All right. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray returns.
I do. It's true. Thank you. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. ERCOT, which is the Energy Reliability Commission of Texas. Council. Okay, they're a council, not a commission, of course. They want us to voluntarily conserve today and starting this week. It's been a little toasty in Texas lately, and that's because we're 38 miles from the sun. 38 miles.
I thought it was closer, to be honest. But okay.
It feels closer, but no, it's still 38 miles from us, bearing down like crazy. Oh, it's hot. Oh, my gosh. And day after day after day after... Stop! That's why I hate summer now.
It's our winter.
It is our winter.
Definitely
it's where
our
you
winter.
Stay inside for 3 months because it's just too hot to go outside. Seriously, you're in danger of heat stroke if you go out for 30 seconds. If you're in the heat for 30 seconds, you could die. Seriously, that's how hot it is in Texas.
So thank goodness we have air conditioning.
Oh, can you imagine? Without it? Well, I wouldn't live here without it. I just wouldn't.
Right.
And I think there are millions like me who would not live here if air... Well, that's when everything exploded in Texas, right? In the 50s when air conditioning became prevalent.
Yeah, same with Florida.
Yep. Because otherwise there were like 9 people here before that. There were 9 people here, and they were all from the equator. That's the only... They were the only people who could handle that kind of heat and humidity.
Really?
Yeah. Now there are 30 million people here because of air conditioning, and ERCOT wants us to turn it up. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. Bump it up just a few degrees voluntarily. Otherwise, we'll have to force you. But if you voluntarily do it, maybe bump it up to, I don't know, 80.
Yeah, well, they were talking about 78.
Yeah, they were.
Bump it up to 78.
Well, they said that's where it should be normally. So I'm thinking if you bump it up a couple degrees.
Is that close to where you have yours set?
78? Very close. It's within 10 degrees.
Because I was thinking I would bump mine up a little bit.
It's within 10.
I can help out. Between 2 and 8 p.m., they claim.
Right.
That's the, peak time.
Yes.
And that's only when it's, I don't know, the sun is the closest to Texas.
Yes. It goes from 38 miles to 33.
Between
that
2 and 8, yes.
Yeah.
I bumped mine up to, 70.
I might be willing to do 70. I might. Maybe 71. But I can't go much higher than that.
After that, you're starting to, warmth starts to seep in.
Yeah, and I can't have it. I just can't have it. Plus, they don't want you to run your major appliances. Yeah. So unplug your refrigerator, I guess, between 2 and 8 in the afternoon.
They don't want you washing clothes or dishwasher, washing your dishes.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right, okay.
Anything that's got a big drain.
Uh-huh.
I mean, every little bit helps.
Right.
But I love the fact that they don't expect any system-wide outages.
I love that. I hope that's true. I hope we don't have any, because that would suck in this heat.
If there was a system-wide outage, now if we're
seriously,
to
people
get
will
close
die.
To peak,
people will die if the energy goes off.
Yes. Now they talked about they obviously are getting record high electric demand due to the heat, of course, but one of the reasons that it's become an issue is because of low wind projections.
Wind projections. Huh. Yeah, the turbines aren't spinning right now.
Huh.
Sometimes it's not windy. So that doesn't bode well for wind energy, does it?
Not, no.
When the wind isn't there, the turbines don't turn, and we don't get any power from it. Huh. What a weird thing.
How that works.
That's really strange.
So anyway, I'll do my part.
Yeah, I will too. I'll bump it up to 69, 70 maybe.
I'm not bumping it up to the time where heat starts to seep in.
No.
Sorry, that's not going to happen.
I can't have that. My wife can do that, sit there and swelter when it's 76 or 77 degrees in there. I can't.
No.
Can't do it.
No, honey.
I'm sorry.
No.
I just can't do it. But don't give me the global warming stuff either, because we could have the weather guy on one of the local channels said the other day, we could hit over 100 degrees every day till the end of summer now. From now until the end of summer, it's over 100 the rest of the time, every single day, and we'd still only be the third hottest summer of all time in Dallas.
I mean, it's been reported.
It's been reported. It must be true.
It's got to be true.
It's like the 10-year-old girl thing. It's been reported. 10-year-old got pregnant, had to go to Indiana. How far is it from where she lived?
We don't know.
We don't know. What is her name? We don't know. Who was the rapist? We don't know. Was he apprehended? We don't know. So, we don't know a lot of things in that particular story. Like, was it made up out of whole cloth?
Yes.
I think we do know. The answer to that is yes.
No kidding. But it is so hot. It's nice that today is, and speaking, this, we touched on it earlier, but today is 7-Eleven.
Yes, it is.
And, so you can get your free Slurpee or Slurpees at 7-Eleven. And don't forget what our fair leader, President Biden, said a few years ago about 7-Eleven.
Yeah, because he had this to say.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
He's not joking. So, he's really being the racist he is. He's not joking about that. Okay, he's serious about his racism. I'm glad to hear that. What were you telling me was illegal that you were surprised by?
Oh, so in the state of Ohio, speaking of Ohio, where this 10-year-old girl
got pregnant, had to go to Indiana.
I mean,
all the way to Indiana from Ohio.
Right. 25 state senators have been sent poop in the mail.
Oh, wow. That's
25? 25. This is the Republican state senators were sent, and it doesn't say how big the envelopes were. It doesn't say what, if they were the big yellow envelopes, or how much feces was in each envelope.
There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad.
I mean, that's what they're going to find when they finally... when they find the person who sent this.
Did it come from Al?
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
Is it maybe from him?
I don't know. They don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
They know that it was sent from Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right. And they also, they don't know the return address on the envelope was fake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they don't know. I mean, they just know that and they stopped it at, the senators didn't get them. It was the post office workers were like, hey, I don't know, this smells right. What is the deal? So, they were stopped. But I didn't realize that that's illegal.
Sending poop in the mail?
Yeah. I mean, people send poop in the mail all the time.
Do they? I'm not aware of that
really?
activity. No, I'm not aware of that at all.
I mean, doctors have you test your stuff all the time and mail it back.
Oh, well, yeah, and biohazard containers and things. Yes, maybe that way. But I don't think it comes through the mail. I don't think the post office is delivering poop from the doctor's office, Jeffy. Just my guess. I'm thinking it probably goes another way.
What way would that be?
In a truck of some kind from the medical people to wherever it is they're delivering it. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a company, right? There was a company, the website, that will deliver feces to people as a joke. Right, the pooping.com or whatever people.
No, I don't know about the pooping.com people.
So I guess it has to if it's meant to be harassment, it's illegal.
Okay,
if it's
as in this case.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, we think it might have been a joke.
I mean, it might have been.
It might have been just good-hearted poop. That's all this is. Yeah, we're just kidding. We're just kidding about that. Well, if you're just kidding, why did you send actual poop? That seems serious right there. It does seem serious, doesn't it? If you actually send the poop rather than you're joking about sending poop. It's more serious, I would say. But you're saying it is illegal to send it to these Republicans.
The one company does send actual. It's the poopsenders.com. They're
running an illegal business, I would say.
No. They send animal feces
to whom?
Your boss, your mean boss, your neighbor, your ex-husband, and they claim on their disclaimer that it's entertainment only because it's unlawful.
I'm sorry, if I get poop in the mail
for harassment purposes.
I'm not entertained by that. If poop arrives in my mailbox, it doesn't entertain me at all. So I'm not taking it that way, and I'm probably reporting it to the authorities.
I sent it to you as a joke.
Yeah, well, you'll be arrested.
No, I won't.
Yes.
No, you have to prove that I was harassment. I sent it to you as a joke.
I told you, any kind of poop that arrives in my mailbox, to me, that's not a joke. That's harassment.
Help that. It was a joke for me.
Well, the authorities can't help it, and they're going to arrest you because I'm going to have you arrested. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea how I
really am.
How do I want to
you have no idea how I want to have you arrested for it.
Oh, my God.
So do it. Send it to me, and I will have you arrested.
You can't. Because it was entertainment purposes only.
I'll bet you they won't consider it that. I'll bet you my local authorities will not consider it entertainment purposes only. That's
really?
Really. Go ahead and try. Let's see it. Let's see. Bring it.
All right. Maybe it's the same authorities here that wrote a ticket to the pregnant lady in the HOV lane. This weekend, and I saw the post on Instagram. I don't know. I don't remember if I sent it.
Because she had two people. One, she was driving.
She was claiming,
and then the other person is inside.
I saw footage where they were pulling. They had a big. They were all rode up. They were spending the afternoon pulling people over in the HOV lanes, making sure that they were more than one person in the car. And if you weren't, pull off to the right here. We're going to write you a ticket.
Yeah.
It's like got nothing better to do in the afternoon but write tickets for people in the HOV lane, keeping people straight, making sure they're keeping with the law. And this lady was pregnant, and she claimed, I've got two people in the car.
Did they buy that?
No. I cannot believe that a police officer would write this pregnant lady a ticket like that.
Oh, I can.
I mean, that is, I want to like the police. I want to like the police. No, seriously. No one wants to like the police more than me.
Is that true?
No.
Because I didn't think so.
Not, but it is true. I appreciate what they do. I got it. But
was that here? Was it in the Metroplex?
Yeah.
Where is an HOV lane that's not
Dallas.
exactly a
Dallas, right?
Just a high, the paid for lane. Can't even think of the name of the lane. But it's not HOV.
Right.
It's it's just the lane that you take when you want to pay more. It's the express lane. Thank you. Yes. That's a very difficult word to think of. The express lane. Who would have ever thought to call it that? The express lane.
They just came up with it.
Those are the only things I know, though, are the express lanes. I don't know that we have HOV lanes here.
In Dallas proper, I think they have some HOV lanes, because that's where I saw the footage of them pulling people over.
All right. So Rob is telling me in my ear it's along 30, Interstate 30, like outside of downtown.
In Dallas.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said.
All right. So that would be south of Dallas, right?
But it was still Dallas proper, like I said.
Yeah, okay. So they're just sitting there waiting for people
They're pulling everybody over.
Really?
They had everybody slowed down so that if you had two or more people in your car, they let you go. But if you didn't, pull over. So it was just a ticket writing campaign.
Unbelievable.
I mean, keeping people safe, of course, and doing their job.
Of course, because it's so unsafe for one person to drive in a high occupancy lane.
But if you're a police officer, come on now. And the lady is pregnant, and you're still going to write her a ticket.
And they did, huh? And they did.
No judge is going to. I mean, it's just being a pain. It's just.
Yeah, I'll bet she pays it. I'll bet she has to pay it.
No way.
Yep.
No way does she pay that. I would refuse.
Get a hold of her and let's see.
Okay,
we should find her. We should track her down and talk to her about that, because That's stupid.
I'm on her side.
Yeah, me too.
I'm on her side.
I am too.
On top of which, even if you want to make the argument that doesn't count, it has to be two separate bodies.
Yeah, well, there are. Yeah, there are two separate. Yeah. One is the mother. The other is the baby with separate DNA, separate arms, legs, head, heart, lungs,
all
separate
of it.
Everything.
All of it.
Separate everything. That's why we say, yeah, we're not talking about your body. Talking about the body inside your body. How about that one? Okay, don't kill it. That's all we're asking.
Okay, so let's set that aside.
All right.
And let's just say this pregnant lady is, in the HOV lane, and the cop still gives her a ticket.
Well, that's what happened. We already did say that. So let's track her down. Let's see if she has to pay. It'd be interesting to find out. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has vetoed a bill that would protect women's sports. He vetoed a bill to block biological males from participating in female athletics. It's inconceivable to me. Absolutely inconceivable. I keep using that word. I don't think it means what I think it means.
I know. I think you have it. I think we checked on Friday.
Do I have it?
I think you do have it.
You're right.
In the.
You keep using that word. Right. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay, so we got them both. Wolf rejected House Bill 972, which would have required that the sports teams of public education institutions be designated for the male sex, the female sex, or for both sexes. The measure would have prohibited allowing males to play on teams designated for females. In addition to applying to the public education institutions, the requirements would also have applied to any institutions that have teams that compete against public education institutions. He said, I've been crystal clear during my time in office that hate has no place in Pennsylvania. Oh, good. I can't. I can't. Okay, because you're trying to protect females and the effort that they put into their sports, you're trying to protect them from biological males taking over their sport. That's hate? No, the hate is coming from you. You obviously hate actual women. Oh, man. Wow. Hate has no place in Pennsylvania, especially discrimination against already marginalized youth representing less than 0.5% of Pennsylvania's population. Then why do you have to make special rules for them? The fact that this bill passed through Pennsylvania's Republican-led General Assembly solely to bully and oppress vulnerable children is atrocious. These members should be ashamed of themselves for proposing and voting on policies that are discriminatory, unnecessary, and incredibly harmful. Unnecessary? It's already happened in your state, you buffoon. You absolute buffoon. Wasn't Leah Thomas, didn't she compete in Pennsylvania?
I thought so. I thought that's where Leah was from.
Yes, she was at the University of Pennsylvania.
Trans women are not a threat to women's sports.
Trans women are not a threat to women's sports. Look, I don't even know what the problem is over here, okay? You got a problem over there with me as a woman? Is that what you're saying over there?
No, not me. Not me.
Don't make me backhand you now, because I'll do it. Give me about half a second, and I'll put you down on the floor, making fun of a woman like me.
Unbelievable. It's just really crazy. So, there's another state where biological males who identify as women can, again, compete against the women. What happened to Title IX? I thought that was supposed to protect women, and now it's just out the window. It was sacred up until last year, it seems like. Maybe the year before. This wasn't a thing before 2020. Was it?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, maybe 2019. This doesn't go back any more than 3 years. And now all of a sudden, you're a hate monger if you believe that women should compete against women and biological males should find their own situation. You know, and that's what the Swimming Association decided, right? Wasn't it the swimmers? Yeah, it was the Swimming Association that said we're gonna compete women against women, biological men against biological men, and trans against trans. They were going to create a new category for trans competition. Well, that's fine.
Okay.
Do that. But don't negate the actual biological women in their competition.
Problem with the universities are concerned, I'm sure that they're looking at it like if they have to create a whole nother sport for how many, such a small percentage.
Yeah, for a small.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. So it's almost easier financially to go. Go ahead,
compete against the women.
Go ahead,
ruin their sports.
I don't really like
take
them
away
anyway.
their futures. Whatever. I don't care. I guess it's the easy way out.
Yeah.
It's just not the right way out, but it's the easy way. Also, for January 6th, the day democracy almost died. The Department of Justice just released several stunning details from its criminal probe into the actions surrounding the attack on the Capitol, including a death list.
Oh, no.
And the presence of explosives in D.C., explosives that, by the way, did not explode. So I don't buy the explosive thing.
I don't either.
At all. Neither do I buy the death list. Because how do I know that the Department of Justice didn't write up the death list?
Yeah.
It's handwritten on a page, and they put a bunch of names on it. The guy that they're blaming for it, who is from the Oath Keepers, man, they are trying to demonize the Oath Keepers.
They sure are.
They're doing everything they possibly can to demonize them. Among the new details in the government's allegations is a document with the words death list that the government says it found in Oath Keeper Thomas Caldwell's home through a search warrant in the weeks after January 6th. He says, now this is the Oath Keeper himself, it's a 100% false and disgusting lie. He absolutely denies it. And I believe him. I don't believe anybody had a death list for that day.
No
Do you buy
way.
that? I don't buy that for a second.
No.
And he left it at home, and it was still there when the government came to search his home?
Right.
Oh, okay. Weeks, it says, after January 6th, they come and search his home, and then they find a death list. Huh. He didn't have the smarts to rip it up and throw it in the garbage, put it in the fireplace and burn it?
No, the hate was too deep.
Too deep. And he still intended to kill all those people on his death list.
Right, I'm sure.
No doubt. I think they're a bunch of liars, and I don't believe they found any death list. And how would you know? How would you know if he produced it, if Thomas Caldwell produced it, or if the Department of Justice did it? You wouldn't.
I mean, you wouldn't. And we're in a bad place when we don't believe the DOJ.
Well, yeah, we're in a bad place. That's for sure. We're in a really bad place. But that's where we are. I just don't believe them.
I know. And they
lie in
the same
sacks.
people tell us that, Trump lunged at the driver of the car.
Yeah, and that's just reported as absolute fact. Okay. Clear from the back of the limo all the way up to the all the way up to the wheel? He got that? And then he attacked the guy's clavicle. Leave his clavicle alone, President Trump, please. That was just too brutal.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.